on TSN 1050.
All right, here we go. OverDrive off and running. TSN 1050 on the TSN app, your home smart speaker, up on TSN 4, up on YouTube Live. Brian Hazy, O-Dog, Jeff O'Neill, Jamie Noodles McLennan.
What's going on today?
What's up? How we feeling?
I have some more findings to report regarding growth. And they're on the negative side. And I don't like chirping people, and I'm not trying to be funny or make fun of people. But, Hayes, you saw with your own eyes that I'm 6'2" now at 50. Dude, you saw it. Noodles, hang on a sec. I got to tell Noodles this. Noodles, this guy, I said to him, I don't know where we were, but he looked at me and he goes, you're not 6'2", I'm 6'2". Like he dwarfs over me, Jamie.
Yes.
Like he dwarfs over me. Anyway, I had to go to Tuck's house today, Darcy Tucker, and I remember Tuck's as 5'10". He's 5'10" all day long. Look at his hockey card, Doogie. It probably says 5'10".
No, he's a little bigger.
He opened the door. I texted him later this afternoon. I said, Tucks, you look like you're 5'5" now.
Well, so he opened the door. It was Tattoo from Fantasy Island. You had a little person.
He's going the wrong way. He
shrunk. He shrunk.
Wow. That's disappointing to hear. I mean, we could test that theory out. I'm sure he'd be willing to get on the desk and.
Dude, before the end of this
thing.
segment, tell Doogie to cold call him to see, because he confirmed it. He goes, I think I have shrunk.
I mean,
He's
it's
tiny.
possible. You guys are both 50 now, right?
As you get older,
it
you
happens.
shrink.
Yeah.
You do shrink.
And not me. Not me.
Yes.
And Jamie, I'm going to show you the next time I stand beside this guy, because when we were at the Super Bowl, I remember we were in a combo with one of the football players, and I was looking down at
angles. Hayes. Dude, you're not even close to my height. Like, you're legitimately 3 inches shorter than I am.
I saw something. Was it not the 15th anniversary of the station like yesterday?
Yeah,
or 2
it was.
Days ago?
We never mentioned it. But
did you see? Yeah, of course we didn't.
That's pathetic.
We probably should have. You're right.
We probably should have. But did you see the pictures that got laid out? There was like 20 pictures. There's one picture of all of us in studio, and Hayes, you're like 6'2", 6'3". There was a mutant at the end. And I asked Steph, I'm like, who is that mutant? And I can't remember. It was like a PR guy for the Leafs.
Oh, really? I'd have to go
guy.
back and look at that pic. I don't remember.
There was
I
a
went
guy
through
who's
them.
like 6'8" at the end. And I'm like, who is that monster at the end? Because I think it was Connor Brown was in studio with us, either with the Marlies or whatever, and it must have been the Marlies PR guy. They brought him over. I don't think it was McNaughton, but I think it was like somebody else. And the guy was like 6'8", and all I could think about was like, well, O's says he's 6'2". And again, I'm going to challenge that because Lindsay's hand was at least 3 inches away from the bottom of your foot.
She was scared of this guy's shoes, man. She didn't want to come close to that guy's shoes.
So,
oh, really?
Yeah. I think she was like, I don't want anything to do
Those
with
were
this
gorgeous Italian leather,
Listen,
FYI. Gorgeous.
Look at where Lindsay's
no
hand
socks.
is. Watch
No,
this.
dude.
Look at
No
where her hand
socks.
is. Look at where her hand
terrified.
is.
That's all angles.
Yeah,
That's
I'm
like
telling
John
you.
Shannon's goal going into the net.
Yeah,
I don't know what he called
parallax angle. The
Parallax
Parallax
angle.
angle.
That's what that. That was the Marty Jelena angle shot in Calgary. Look, that is legit.
I'm telling you, if Fitzy or Ben did a libero on that, they would highlight her hand and say there was 3 inches at the bottom that
minimum
magically added.
Minimum.
Who is that 6'1"? It says.
That's O-Dog.
You're taller
6'1".
than me. I used to be 6 feet. I think I'm 5'11" and 3/4 now. I'm shrinking in my old age. But I don't think you're 3 inches taller than me.
No chance. I think the two of you are very close.
We're close.
Very close. And I think Lindsay, you had no socks on, and she may have looked at that and said, I'm just not going in that direction.
Dumb and Dumber. There might have been a Dumb and Dumber situation.
Right.
Didn't you put a picture out on, was it Twitter or something the other day?
Actually, that was post-petty. Didn't you go get a little a pedicure recently or a mani-pedi or something?
Dude, I did. Cindy sent from heaven up in Collingwood.
She had 3
I'll
masks
tell you what.
on.
Have we seen her since? I mean, there's no guarantee that she isn't fully contaminated.
I just got to tell you something, man. I got to tell you guys something. You guys know this, and it's not a humble. I get up and I run every morning. very early because I got to get it out of the way.
Yeah.
My feet, like, they're sore. Cindy doctored up my toes and my feet and gave them a rub down, and I walked out of there like Ben Johnson in Seoul, Korea.
Really? Look at those things.
Like she
did one thing. She did one thing though that kind of got me a little bit. I got some like bunion things on my. She took out a giant size, not a little cheese grater, the ones you fillet a large slice of cheese. And I said, slow down on that thing, man.
Yeah.
The graters were that big on it. I'm like, you got to go slow.
She was
That's
slicing
gnarly.
provolone.
Yeah,
That's what she was doing.
that is gnarly stuff. But sometimes it's got to happen, right? Like sometimes you got to go for a little tune-up. Well, yeah, it's disappointing to hear about Tux. I mean, we can try to call him at some point. He probably
call
won't
him before
answer.
this segment, just see if he answers, and it's one question. Do you think that you're now 5'5" to 5'7", and you used to be 5'10"?
I don't know if he was ever 5'10", though. I mean, I think the hockey card, like everyone, you guys established it, everyone lies on their card. Everyone says they're 6 feet, 6'1". I don't know.
Look at this guy. He's 5. Look at the front door. There's 7 feet above him at the front door.
Well, he's down a step, though. He's not standing on the stoop.
Yeah, that could be the angle. It could be the angle.
He looks wonderful.
No. Yeah, he looks great. He's decked out in Leaf gear.
That's Hayes' dear friend, right?
That is my dear friend, yes. I love that guy.
When you said I saw Tux, I'm like, Hayes' dear friend?
Yeah, one of my favorite
friend
people.
Stealer.
I love that guy. Well, we'll see. We'll see if he answers. He was down there last night, right? He and Dougie Gilmore were down there, and Joe Bowen was obviously front and center. And the Leafs, it was just, if you're pro tank, it was the most entertaining, appropriate home loss you could have, right? You get up 3-0, and then all of a sudden it's 3-3, and then it's 5-3. I did a hit with Jay last night. It was 5-3. Yeah. I end the hit.
I shut it off at 5-3. I'm like, they won it.
Yeah. I end the hit. Kyle, the producer, goes, oh, it's 6-5 Dallas. I go, not possible. Like, it's not possible. My phone was blowing up. And at that point, I thought, oh, it's, guys like our buddy Donnie and all these other people writing me saying, they're going to win. They're going to win. This is what's going to happen. And then somehow they found a way, I guess, to lose, which is an awkward situation.
Yeah.
And it sucks that, Joe Bonesy had a great speech at the end of the game. And I thought they did a great job of promoting him, obviously, and being a big part of the send-off, which also put up a shield for the players, right? No one's going to boo the players off the ice when Joe Bowen is getting the send-off, which he absolutely deserved. 40-plus years as the voice of the Leafs, and it's just not going to be the same without him. Like, it just I don't – there's been other people that have stepped in and called games over the years. Not many, but some. And he used to do TV, and when he did TV, Dennis Bayak used to call games on 640 back in the day. Dennis was unbelievable at that. Todd Crocker's called games and stepped in. Other people, I don't want to miss names. But the thing about Bonesy is he's been remarkably resilient. The Iron Man, he shows up every single game and makes calls. Yeah. And it's just a wild career. It's a great career. Well, like you said, it's unfortunate they never even played a Stanley Cup final game, let alone won one.
Yeah, he said that in his speech too, but he kind of was, I don't know. Tux is there. We got to get Tux on.
Oh, we got him on the line. Okay.
Yeah, apparently. Let's see what he's got to say.
Let's get right to the source.
Bones.
Oh, do you want to set this up? Because you're making the accusations here.
Tux, can you admit to these guys that you were 5'10" when you played in the NHL, and now you're between 5'5" and 5'7"?
Between 5'5" and 5'7" now. Like, what? Honestly, like, seriously, where does this come from? Like,
Tux, I talked to you today, and you agreed. Now, don't disagree now on television.
I'm not disagreeing that I probably have shrunk, but let's not, like, say 3 inches here, boys. Let's give me a little benefit of the doubt. Like, I put some weight on in areas that probably make me look a little shorter than I probably should be, but at the end of the day, I'm having a great time doing it.
That's what matters. Okay, 5'9". Can we accept that? Like, that works.
Well, what does your hockey card say, Tux?
I think 5'10" and a half, actually.
Oh,
there you go. So 5'11", really. Central Scouting would have him at 5'11" when he was in Kamloops, I guarantee.
Now, I know there has been some buffoonery going on with O-Dog saying he's 6'3", which is absolutely ridiculous.
Wrong. Don't let the facts get in the way of a good story. I said I'm 6'2".
I saw you get out of the car today, and there's no chance you're 6'2".
No.
Well, let me ask you this. You've played golf with me and Hayes.
Yeah.
When you envision a guy on the tee, am I the same size hitting a golf ball as Hayes? Height?
At no time.
Not even close.
Hayes looks like that Aberg when he hits the golf ball right now.
Yes.
He is absolutely dialed.
Yeah.
I watch him daily hit the golf ball, and he is definitely
Aberg.
at least 6'2.5".
That's valid. I'm going up to it. That is a great description of my action. Oh, you'd agree with that, Ludwig?
So if Hayes is Aberg and I'm Craig Stadler is what you're saying. Is that what you're saying, Tux?
More of a Fuzzy Zeller type.
Fuzzy's got a green
R.I.P.
jacket, too. Yeah, he's got a green jacket. Okay. Well, we're glad we established that because O was really taking shots. And
I was not taking shots. I just said he looks like sometimes you see an old schooler and you say, man, that guy played in the NHL. He's not that big a guy. I thought that about Tux today.
You said you opened the door and you could eat an apple off his head. Basically, that's what you said.
I didn't say that.
You said he was 5'5", staring up at you. That's what you said.
Like seriously, honestly, like this is getting out of hand. Like between the egg salad and my height, this is really got out of hand.
Yeah, you could tell the Leafs aren't going to the playoffs. Like we're getting off the beaten path here with certain topics. But okay, we're glad you established that. We figured we'd go right to the source, and yeah, I guess.
Did anybody see me and Dougie dancing last night with our faces on?
Yes, that was good action.
How was it down there,
Tux?
How was it down there, Tux, for Bonesy?
It was great, actually. For Bonesy, it was awesome. The vibe was great for him. You know, the game was quite interesting, to say the least. The boys got up early and then kind of just couldn't finish it off. But, I mean, I thought, you know, Bonesy did call that many goals on his last home game. It's pretty special for him. And obviously, I heard he had a fun, interesting night afterwards with his family. So that's all good.
Absolutely. Do you have a call you've heard a few times that you were involved in that you would say would be the one let's say you could make a ringtone of Joe Bowen calling any of your plays? Which one would it be?
Absolutely. It was I wasn't even actually playing in the game. I got hurt the game previous with the Alfredson hit, and we went into Ottawa. We were down 2-0. I think 4 minutes into the game, we scratched our way back and won it. And Travis Green and Shane Corson were blocking shots. Cujo was standing on his head at the end of the game there, and Joe Bowen said something to the effect, "God bless you, boys. I've never seen that much heart in my entire life." And that really stuck with me for the rest of my career. Just the fact that I wasn't playing, I was able to watch it and hear Bonesy's call of it.
Yeah, that's cool. Well, and if you're ever close to the press box, you can hear him from the Platinums, basically. I mean, he is belting it out there. It's phenomenal. Okay, we'll leave it there, buddy. We'll catch you on the tee in a couple of weeks.
Eat your green beans. Eat your green beans and come play with the tall guys.
Yeah, good one. I can't wait to see my best buddy on the tee block when I'm playing golf. And that's not you, O-Dog, anymore. That's Steve.
Yeah.
I'll be there. Ludwig and Tux.
Oberg over here.
Ludwig and Tux teeing off bright and early. We'll see you
bright
then.
And early.
Bright
Cheers,
and early.
Boys. Enjoy your day.
See you, buddy. There's Darcy Tucker.
I think we can confirm he admitted it.
Yeah.
He admitted it.
Again, I think it's natural. You're the only one going against science.
Benjamin Buttons.
Yeah, you're growing somehow.
We all admit to shrinking. Like, I feel like I've shrunk. I got to measure myself now. I measure my kids all the time. We've got the line on the wall or whatever. You know, like, I'm going to measure
myself. Let's put a line
myself.
on the wall at the OverDrive, like in studio. You got to measure up as soon as you go in.
I think you're wearing those shoes that you can buy on Instagram that give you 3 inches.
Yeah,
have you seen that?
Like
where
Mickey
it's
from Seinfeld.
Do you think I would be caught dead in a pair of high sole Skechers?
That's what I'm thinking.
Or those Nike Monarchs that guys with cigarette mustaches wear?
I got to tell you guys something. On Sunday, we were at the mall early in the morning, and I walked by a store. I couldn't tell which store it was. And this is how I know I'm getting older, too. And I saw a pair of shoes in the window, and I'm like, those are solid.
Nice.
And I looked up, Skechers.
Yes, there you go.
Like, wow, dude, I'm moving into that era where I'm seeing a pair of Skechers in the window shopping. I'm like, those are solid-looking shoes. And I did not end up pulling the trigger, but needless to say, it worked. Advertisement works. Anyway, so yeah, great to hear from Tux, and him and Dougie Gilmore were down there last night doing the jaunt, and Bowen, he's had a great career, and it was interesting though, the crowd. I think it was appropriate. It was more about Bowen because people have been bracing for the Leafs to be done for months, right? Like it's been over for a month and a half or 2 months, and really, prior to the Olympic break, they were not some great team. They have not been a good team at any point this season. But it kind of disguised or threw off like any read you could get from the crowd. And I am curious what, Leaf fans are going to be thinking going into the summer, because I can't emphasize this enough. I really think whoever they hire has got to motivate people.
Instill confidence.
Yes, you've got to instill some confidence and motivate some people. And
dude, I'm sorry. What are you talking about? The guy that calls the games is not there to motivate people.
No.
That's not what I'm talking about. No, I'm saying who they hire
as
the manager. I'm not talking about Joe Bowen.
That's
not what I'm talking about. No, Bowen's separate. I'm talking about the hockey team.
Thanks.
Right?
Sorry, I got it wrong.
Because, everyone loves Joe Bowen. That's 100% approval rate, standing ovation. We're going to miss you. Just an incredible career. And he's calling another game tomorrow night. Should point that out.
Yeah, that's my bad. Game. I didn't hear correctly.
Yeah, so I'm saying who they hire as the next GM.
Yes.
Because last night it was disguised because everyone's standing O for Bonesy. The players weren't getting that, right? No. The organization certainly isn't getting a standing ovation. And I think the worst fear you can have if you're MLSE is, is apathy going to kick in? Is dejection going to kick in? How do you find a way to get people riled back up?
Well, you're exactly right, Brian. And it might, if they think outside the box and hire somebody outside the box, it's going to take time for that person to win over the people that you're talking about. Because if they hire somebody who is relatively, let's say, quote unquote, an unknown, maybe it's an analytics guy or maybe it's something else, then you go, okay, we have no relation, we have no idea, no body of work for this person. Great, he worked for that organization or that. But if they hire, I don't want to throw names out, but let's say Doug Armstrong. At least you know what Doug Armstrong's resume is. And he's been involved in Team Canada. So that would instill confidence. If it's somebody outside the box that is getting a first crack at it, you're going, we don't know this person. We have no idea. So what it'll do is delay your reaction, wouldn't it, as a fan base going, okay, let's see what you got here. But there's no track record for a Suni Mehta or, even John Chayka or somebody like that. You're like, okay, we've seen a little bit, but not much.
Right. And again, a lot of it will be mic control, how you handle the crowds.
Right.
And I would suggest whoever they hire, don't come in with any crazy proclamation. That's not what I'm saying. Don't come in and try to win headlines day one by saying, I guarantee a cup in the next couple of years or something. No one should be expecting that. No one, I think will be looking to that. But I would even look back on when they hired Shanahan. I remember I was down there. I think we were all down there at Scotiabank when they hired him, and it was Brendan Shanahan. He looked like $1 million in a Navy suit, Navy Leaf tie, like everything across the board. Yeah. He spoke freely. He spoke calmly. He addressed as much as he was willing to, but he did so with confidence. And I remember leaving there saying, okay, this team's horrendous, and they're probably going to be awful for another couple of years, but I can see where this is going, and there wasn't any guarantees, because first impressions, they matter, and I think they really matter right now.
Let me ask you this, Brian. Would you be happy if someone at least created an illusion of light at the end of the tunnel? Like made you buy into that, and even if they're...
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I think, listen, you want it like sports and fandom and all that. The offseason, it's about selling. It's about marketing in a way. And obviously, actions speak much louder than words, clearly. But I would go even back prior to the Shanahan hiring and the guy who hired him. Tim Lewicki was as captivating of an executive as there's ever been in the city.
He said the parade route. Like he wasn't shy to be like, we're doing this.
Enough of this loser mentality. Enough of this woe is me, we'll never get it done stuff. That's what I'm saying. Like, come in with conviction and be like, I'm telling you, they've hired the right guy. We're not waiting another 60 years. Let's get going here.
What if there was a guy like the guy that's always intrigued me? Now, he was part of the Leafs organization before, was Mark Hunter. Like, you look at his track record of what they've done at the junior level. I mean, that guy's a no-nonsense, but he's not a public media darling. Like, but he's a no-nonsense, like, I'll work. A little bit of like Kelly McCrimmon. Like, they just go to work, they know the game of hockey. They're hockey lifers. That's the way I look at it. Might be somebody like that. Again, I think Keith Pelly's got a desk full and an inbox full of candidates, but it's who jumps off the page for him. My worry, though, is there are people that interview well, but it's all bluster. They're frauds. I'd rather have a quiet, reserved guy who knows exactly what the hell they're doing than somebody who interviews well and has charts and graphs. And, like, that's the worry for me is somebody can win an interview. They can win, a face-to-face.
Sure.
But are you going to be able to execute? That's what worries me.
Ultimately, that's what matters. And, I think the next wave could be if there's a new coach. Then
right.
What kind of optimism does that new coach bring to the table? Because it's weird watching Barube right now. Like, he had a comment. I want to play this. It was kind of a layup question that I think if there was a coach in sync with the GM and the owner and security, probably answers it a little bit differently. But it was kind of a classical, honest answer. But an answer I don't think without a ton of thought or care about, how it might be perceived more internally than externally. Here's Craig Barube last night on the Marlies coming up. Jacob Quillen scored his first goal last night. A couple other Marlies playing. Yeah. Here's what Barube had to say.
What have you thought, generally speaking, of the Marlies call-ups that you've had this year?
They do some good things. They're not bad. They're like, it's a lot for them, right? It's a lot for the young goalie, coming into the NHL too. And, now you're facing NHL shooters and, you really got to do a good job of being composed in net and tracking the puck and all that stuff. So there's mistakes, but, they're working, they're trying. I thought Villeneuve had another good game. I was happy with Villeneuve's game tonight.
So, I think the top is what kind of sticks out. Like, they're okay. Yeah. Like they do some good things, I guess. And
don't you think he's just going? They're calling guys up to make sure that exactly what happened last night happened.
Exactly,
right?
And that's what I'm saying. Though he probably doesn't want that, and he certainly didn't sign up for it.
He's probably had enough about all of it.
Yes, exactly. That's kind of what it felt like last night, which is totally understandable. All right, so the Leafs are wrapping up their season tomorrow night in Ottawa. That game on TSN Radio. Joe Bowen with his final call. Speaking of Ottawa, Travis Green coming up. So they're going to play either Buffalo or Carolina. So we'll get into that with Travis. And Mike Johnson coming up. Confirm or deny coming up. Jays in Milwaukee tonight. OverDrive continues up on YouTube Live. Drive continues, powered by FanDuel, bringing you more ways to play your game your way. Jays, Milwaukee tonight. Gosman has to have his start, man. The rotation has not been good. He's been very good. Dylan Cease has been very good. But beyond that, it's a struggle. And the bullpen's been really good. Like Scherzer and Lauer were the issue over the weekend. The bullpen was great. Bats are coming alive a little bit. It's going to be a struggle, right? Springer's out. Barger's out, Kirk is out.
It's a grind, man.
It's a grind. Yeah, it's a grind. And listen, this has nothing to do with the standard it's a long season stuff. When you get this many injuries thrown at you, it's very difficult to remain stable and confident. And I think this is where they're lucky they've got vets in that room. Like Scherzer, I thought had a great post game the other day. Where he didn't pitch well. Like his leash cannot be that long for just getting to go out.
Dude, how about his goals? He's like, I don't want to get hurt. Like when one of your goals going out on the mound is you don't want to get hurt, there's a problem.
Trouble, very troubling. But he was intense after, and he said, everyone's dealing with injuries. This is Major League Baseball, man. Like no one's making excuses, and that's the reality. Milwaukee doesn't care if they're hurt. Great. Go out there and play. Why would they? The Jays won 94 games, went to a World Series last year. So they've got to get over that, and it's going to be a challenge, a little road trip coming up here starting in Milwaukee tonight. So best bets on that. We'll get to some more golf picks later this afternoon as well as the RBC Heritage Open. Teeing off in a couple of days. Travis Green going to join us here in a moment.
You know who comes alive at that Heritage?
Fitzy.
Giordano.
Does he?
Spieth.
Jordan Spieth,
Really?
your boy.
Yeah,
Okay.
for some reason, that place. And the one thing that's about Spieth that literally drives me insane, like, wouldn't you think Greller, the guy that literally scratches the hair off of his head every round, like, wouldn't he go to Jordan and say, we got to go to your coach and find something that gets you in the fairway. I don't care if it's a driver, if it's a driving iron, some kind of fairway wood. This guy, like, the places he's playing golf from is obscene.
That's been his whole career.
I know, dude, but it's
you.
off the charts right
It
now.
is.
Like,
Yeah.
he won the British Open that one year, and he was whacking and hacking all over the joint. Remember where he's trying to find the green, and then he made that massive putt. I don't know. Just find.
But that
find
was
the fairway.
10 years ago. I mean, that's the thing. He's not a young guy anymore. Anyway, more picks on that in just over an hour. Leafs on their way to Ottawa, and their final game tomorrow. Ottawa is still waiting to see who they're going to play. Right? It could be Carolina.
Yep.
It could be Buffalo. Two very different teams. Two teams with very different history, and I'm curious how they're preparing for that. I guess we'll go right to the source on this one as well. Another guy, buddies with Tux, right? Former teammate with Darcy Tucker.
Well, hang on. Let's bring him in, and I have a question for him, Brian.
All right.
Bring him on in.
Oh, yeah?
Here he is, Travis Green, the head coach of the Ottawa Senators. Go ahead, O.
Greeny, when you played in the NHL with Darcy Tucker, how tall would you say that he was?
Probably 5'9".
Do you have a follow-up, Bo, or are we
He
just
just
moving
starts
on?
laughing.
Well, I told these guys at the beginning of the show, I went to his house today, and I think he shrunk. I think he's like 5'7" now.
No.
Oh, I believe I golfed with him last year in Bandon Dunes, and he has shrunk for sure.
I told you guys. I told you.
But honestly, Greeny, said that Tux opened the door and there was a guy who was 5'5" staring back at him. And it's like, so we had to have Tux on the show to defend himself because said he's basically shrunk down to nothing.
Yeah,
I couldn't believe it.
Junior club style, like the short shots and everything.
Yeah, playing the forward tees soon. I think. Well, we were obviously we're waiting. I can only imagine what you guys are going through in terms of anticipating who you're going to play. You still have a game to go tomorrow night. What's that?
We're saying how I'm gonna spell out the game plan against both teams.
Yes, that's what we're waiting for. I mean, they're very different teams, though, aren't they? Buffalo and Carolina.
Yeah, no, kidding aside, both obviously have had great seasons. One team had a lot of playoff experience. One team's built a team through the draft. Both going to be a challenge, and got a lot of respect for both teams. They both have had great seasons.
Greeny, when you said the message to your team where it's like you just got to forget about the injuries and forget about everything else, we just have to go on a run here. You guys ultimately pulled it off, but who is it most important for you to hear that message and believe that message? Is it as simple as Brady, or he already believed that, or just who was it most important for you?
I think it was just at that point of the year, like you guys know, there are certain times of the year where you're kind of in your group, you're trying to figure out how to keep your group on the.
Okay, we're just going to throw you on hold, Travis. We'll call you back. Your phone's dropping out on us. We can't really hear you, so we haven't had to do that in a long time.
No, but we want
just dawned on me.
You want good answers, though,
yeah,
too.
Exactly.
Like you want to be able to hear Greeny because he's given us good insight on, the Sens. So you don't want him to. Have to cut in and out.
Yes,
but,
we'll get him back, and we'll ask him about Brady because I guess he lost his vision like a couple of times.
Really?
Well, Like, that was and he's going to be fine. Like, it sounds like he's going to play, but still, that's scary stuff, man.
Yeah, well, it just seemed like such a weird transaction. The guy can fight, can hit, could do everything, and he gets bonked on kind of the side of the head or something. Like, I don't know if he got a stick in the eye. You can't tell from that angle. There's no overhead. But he immediately did not look, like he was comfortable, put it that way.
Yeah,
and
that would scare the hell out of you, man.
Yeah, he's a warrior too, man. Like, he's found another level. That's the one thing that, when you look at Ottawa, like Stützle and Sanderson, superstars. Brady's a unicorn. He's such a different player, right? Like, he falls into that bucket with Tom Wilson, and they can do it all. They can skate, hit, fight, shoot, do it all. And that's what makes their team kind of unique, because they got a lot of different weapons there.
Right. Yeah, no, he's incredibly important.
Yeah.
And, again, the plan is, I don't think he'll play tomorrow night. I haven't heard that officially, but I can't imagine he will. And then it's go time for the playoffs. And, again, we don't know. They're either going to go to Carolina or go to Buffalo, which means we know Montreal's playing Tampa, and we know Philly's playing Pittsburgh, with Philly coming back last night and winning, which is pretty incredible. So the 2-3s in the East are set, but it's going to come down to what happens with Boston in their final game, and what happens with Ottawa in their final game. And we're going to get Travis Green back here in a moment, but obviously two different challenges. Like I was saying, Carolina, they got a lot of history in the playoffs, a lot of history. They got depth. They're built in a similar fashion. They don't have a Brady Tkachuk type, but they got depth. They've got a great coach behind the bench.
Yeah. Hey, Hayes, I've heard you talk about both teams throughout the year, and I don't think that Buffalo and Carolina may be a little bit more defensively sound, but those are just two skating teams, checking teams. They're not going to run you out of the building, and I think that, that's going to be what the Ottawa Senators are going to try to go to. Like, you got to bring what your best game is, and they're going to try to check you. They're going to try to be physical and squeeze the life out of you, and they don't want to get into a run-and-gun style. So it's going to be contrasting styles, whichever opponent they have.
Yeah, and keep in mind, guys, too, this is Buffalo's first time around, just like it was Ottawa's first time around last year for that core, for those guys. Carolina, they've been conference final for every year, it seems like. Conference final. They're battle-tested. Ottawa's second kick at the can here with this core, with this group, all of that type of stuff. Buffalo, I'm sure they're a confident group, and rightfully so. They won the Atlantic. They've had an unbelievable season coming from where they were in, we'll call it November. But this is playoff hockey, and this is everybody, for the most part, in that dressing room, first kick at the can in playoff hockey. I know Ryan McLeod did it with Edmonton, went to the finals, so he's got some experience. There's some other guys. But the core of that group, this will be their first kick at the can of the playoffs with Buffalo. Carolina's got a lot of rich history deep in the playoffs.
Well, and that's going to be interesting to see how Ottawa applies that experience from last year and puts it forth this year. We've got him back. Here's Travis Green, the head coach of the Sens.
Sorry, boys. I don't have very good phone service. I'm back.
All good. Yeah, we appreciate it.
Maybe switch from one of those flip phones.
I got an iPhone 3.
The obviously experience you got in the playoffs last year, it means something. How much do you think it means, and how much, what do you hope your team learned from last year that they can apply this year?
Yeah, I talked today about that a little bit. I think experience matters. It doesn't guarantee that you win a series. Doesn't mean you're going to lose a series. I thought last year our group learned a lot, especially early in the series. I just think the level of play, the intensity level, took us a game, maybe a game and a half to get up to speed. And I think we'll be better prepared for it this year. But is that going to be a difference in the series? I just think experiences that you go through over the course of time when your team plays in a lot of playoff games or goes through one series to another, failures, successes, that only helps a team in the long run. But it definitely doesn't determine a lot of series, but it helps.
So, Greeny, I've heard you many times this year talk about, we like our team, we like our game when we get to it. Is that Is it as simple as just the structure, the details, the things that you've been preaching all year?
Yeah, I think it's more of a commitment to our team to play a certain way. I think if you look at our group, someone asked me about the Pinto line today, how much of were they part of our success? And you could say that about a lot of parts of our team. You could say that about Timmy's line, Cousins' line, Pinto's line. Our fourth line's been playing good. I think we're a team that, we win as a team, we lose as a team. We're not carried by one or two guys, and everyone's got to be part of that team game that we're talking about. If a couple guys aren't skating, it doesn't work. If a couple guys aren't competing hard enough, it doesn't work. And that's, I've talked a lot about our team being coachable and buying into playing the way that we need to play. And that's kind of what I'm talking about.
Bit of a scary scene the other night with Brady Tkachuk. What's the story with his status, Travis, and what can we expect come game one from Brady?
Yeah, a lot of people ask me about it. I still don't really know. I joked around with Brady today that maybe he just forgot to eat breakfast and blacked out or something for a bit. But it was a bit of a scary moment for him. And by the time the game was over, the next day we were pretty confident that he was fine.
Well, he's a huge part of your process there, and Noodles calls him a unicorn all the time. Based on how he plays and what he brings. And have you seen? A lot was made of the Olympics and the importance of that experience for all the American players, and obviously Sanderson was there as well. Have you seen him kind of take from that and launch into a new level the last couple of months?
Yeah, again, it's one of the things that have been talked about a lot this year. It seems like we've been. There's been certain different moments of the season where there was talk about different parts of our game, our team. I said it today that there's 31 teams in the NHL that would want to have Brady on their team. And he is a bit of a unicorn. He also plays a style of game that it takes a lot of physical energy, a lot of emotional energy. And when he's on top of those two parts of his game, emotionally, physically, he's a force to be reckoned with. There was talk during the season a lot of times that he's not having a great year. I think he's got 60 points or 58 points and 58 games. I don't know. He's close to a point a game. He's having a pretty good year. I thought after the Olympics, there was a little bit of spurt where he was checked out a little bit emotionally. Physically, I think he was tired certain points of the season. But I really think he's been engaged here as of late. And when he is, he's a handful. And I'm expecting him to be fully engaged in the playoffs and a handful and a great leader for our team come the biggest time of the year.
Greeny, can you take us inside the locker room to...
Well, yeah, it's funny. It's a funny time of year, especially for our group. There's different teams that have been in, they've been in the playoffs for a while. It feels like we've been on the grill, on the barbecue here for 4 months. And now that fire is not hot under our feet right now. And for me, even the Jersey game, I talked to our group about the importance of, remembering what we are and how we play and how hard we play. And that's just what we do every day and don't do anything different. And that's probably going to be very similar to what I'm going to say tomorrow night as we face Toronto.
How is being on the barbecue for 4 months, what is, as the coach, the key factor? Because it can go either two ways. You can win the first round and you can say, well, we've been playing playoff hockey for 2 months and we just kept her going. Or the other result, you know what it is. It's like we just kind of ran out of gas. What is the key as a coach to just keep the barbecue flavor cooking and keep it going?
Yeah,
that's a good one.
No, and that's a good question though, because I think you have to be realistic too, and we've really tried to just stay away from our team here for the last couple of days. Not put anything too heavy on them. Let them decompress a little bit. Kind of check in with some of the guys on the team individually, how the temperature is, just to see, where we have to get them to as coaches. Are we going to have to, turn the heat up again, or are they fired up to go? And I really believe they're going to be fine. The consensus is they're excited, and this is something that we've been, really building toward all year. Probably knowing full well that with the shape of our game to a man in our room, we feel that we deserve to be, in the playoffs and fighting to win a Stanley Cup. I think there's a lot of belief in our room that we're not just here to play. We're here to win the cup. And we believe that we can beat anyone. And we think our play has shown it this year. We haven't got as many points as we thought we should have. And we own that. But now we're all starting even.
So, Greeny, we showed a board the other night in the game I was doing Thursday. January 24th, you guys were last in the Atlantic.
Yeah.
And then compared to where you are now, I mean, you've talked about the process the whole year. You've had the belief. Yeah, there's been some inconsistencies, some ups and downs, but has the belief been in there behind the scenes with you guys? Like I've talked to you several times where you're like, Jamie, we're right there. We're right there. Like, Has that belief been real, or is it just it's taken time to kind of follow through? Because you got a chance, if you win tomorrow, to have 99 points on the season from where you were. Yeah. With Lena's not there, for 6 weeks, all of that types of things, the adversity with Brady, the injury, the Sanderson injury. Like, you think of the adversity you've had this season, and you got a chance for kissing up on 100 points. It's been pretty impressive.
Yeah, and I give our group full credit. There are times. There's times where, coming into the rink, I knew our team would be really low. And, especially when you've played well and you've lost, that burns a player, it burns a team. And I think our biggest challenge this year was just keeping them mentally strong and focused. And, we kind of came up, I believe it was January, we talked to our group about where we're at with our game. And let's be very honest about it. And we liked it a lot, and we don't have the points we want, but if we do three things, we're going to be fine. And one of them was play. Like, we got to play good. We can't, if we don't play good, nothing good is going to happen. But we also got to keep the belief and understand that our game works and believe in it, believe in each other, and also be a good teammate. Right now is not the time to start pointing fingers. Let's just dig in and win one game at a time, and we'll get on a run. And, we firmly believe that we could beat anyone that we played when we were on top of our game, and give them credit. You don't come back from that unless you have that belief and you play well, and they did.
Yeah, you guys have been on a heater for quite some time, and again, it's either going to be Carolina or Buffalo. And you're going to, we know what's coming. We'll find that out, I guess, tomorrow night or in the next 24 to 48 hours. But it's been a great run. Congrats on making the playoffs. You want something else, though? You getting in there one more time? Or?
I just wanted to say, Greeny, I think you did a hell of a job with that team this year. But there's one thing that you do that I'm really happy about. A lot of coaches that played in the NHL, they start when they coach. They start wearing brown, ugly suits and weird-ass ties and stuff. And you refuse to keep it tight on the bench, and I have a ton of respect for that. Because there are some guys that are wearing some stuff out there that is obscene, and I'm proud of you for doing that.
Well, I appreciate that. Might have been the best thing you've ever said to me, because a couple things. I never wear brown. And I never will. I'm also colorblind, so I have no idea what brown goes with. So I make sure I don't wear that.
Don't
and
ever.
Speaking
it's
of
like
tie, did you happen to check out Talk's tie last night?
No, what was he wearing?
Did you see? Oh my God!
We'll get a pic
some
of
tie
it.
on.
We'll
Yeah, it's like I don't know where he went. Like he all of a sudden is a Versace king or something, and he's got some. So it was
silk tie. Was it a zip up or what? Like clip on?
I was shocked that I meant to send him a note, but I forgot to.
Okay. We'll have to dig up a pic and we'll do a breakdown later. Thanks for telling us that one.
He'll love that you brought that up to us.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
He'll be really happy.
No, he will.
Thanks, Travis.
All right,
Good luck
boys.
tomorrow
That
night.
was fun. Okay, boys.
Great catching up with you.
Talk
There
to
is
you.
Travis Green,
Bye.
head coach of the Ottawa Senators, who have now made the playoffs. And 3.5 months ago, were not even close.
Well,
to
Jamie,
being in
you
the
said
playoffs.
yesterday, January 20-something, they were last
24th.
place.
They were last place in the Atlantic. Crazy, but I mean, it was weird because, me doing those games, I'd come in and be like, man, they deserve better. They'd lose 4-2. Man, they played a lot better than you thought. And then again, you lean to the analytics, like, man, this suggests that, all of that type of stuff.
Save
There
that
was
thought.
all sorts of things. I know Johnny
Data-driven in 15.
Yeah.
We're going
doing-
diving.
Where once every couple days, we are going into a hashtag data-driven segment. We're going to start with Johnny. I don't know who's got I told Johnny, you have to have some numbers for us if we're going to kick this off right.
Okay.
But we are now data-driven as a show, and once every couple days, I want to do my fantasy. Maybe we can do it tomorrow. We do a double-ender with Jonas and James Myrtle, and we break down everything. I want to do it.
Okay, we'll see. Yeah, we'll see. No guarantees on that. Confirm or deny in
Yeah.
about 45 minutes. MJ coming up. OverDrive continues up on YouTube Live.
Back to OverDrive with Hayes, Noodles, and the O-Dog.
All right, Mike Johnson in 15. Confirm or deny coming up. Jays in action tonight. Raptors moving towards Game 1 in Cleveland on Saturday. You got Kia Nurse playing for the tempo in the future. That's awesome. I love seeing
for
that.
Kia. And
Love
I'm
seeing
excited
that.
about the Rap series against the Cavs.
Yes,
Got
me
the
too.
beard. Love it.
Well, and you know his history in the playoffs, right? Not very positive.
No, he puts the fat suit on again.
Absolutely.
Well,
Not the best.
He'll enjoy an establishment as well.
That's the
God,
question
does
when
that
they
guy
roll
love
through town.
peelers, man.
Because they love a double day off in the NBA playoffs, and the beard will find somewhere to spend his time in Toronto. I guarantee it.
Yeah.
So more on that with Confirm coming up. OverDrive continues. TSN 1050 and on the TSN app.
This is OverDrive with Hayes, Noodles, and the O-Dog on TSN 1050.
Hour 2 OverDrive continues, powered by FanDuel, bringing you more ways to play your game your way. Brian Hayes, the O-Dog, Jeff O'Neill, Jamie Noodles, McLennan, confirm or deny later in the hour. Best bet still to come. Mike Johnson will join us here in a few moments. We know all 16 teams going to the Stanley Cup playoffs. There's still some jockeying for position. Some series are set. Montreal's playing Tampa. Minnesota's playing Dallas. Philly's playing Pitt. So we know those are going down. But we don't know the wild card rounds yet, and who Buffalo's going to play, who Carolina's going to play, Colorado, etc. Vegas with a big win last night. They just keep rolling, man. Now they're scoring goals. They keep putting up numbers.
They got stops.
Beware. I think beware, man. Beware of that team. Like if the goaltending can hold up and they get cooking. We talked about their depth all year long. They had a slide, which was remarkable to watch, and it cost them their coach their job. Or his job. But if they get rolling, man, they got depth and they can do damage.
Yes, they can. They have that history. Really good team. Carter Hart, I think, is going to be the man. I think he's going to play, right, Noodles? And
he's their guy right now, and he's played well. Like, that was the one key. Aiden Hill didn't have a great season. They got Akira Schmid, who's, up and down kind of. And when you look at it, I think that they'd wanted Hart to be healthy. And now he's healthy and playing well, I think he's their guy to start the playoffs. He's a good goalie,
How about Mark Scheifele hitting 100 points? And how crazy that season's been in Winnipeg, where they ran out of time. They couldn't – I think if they played 15 more games, they might make the playoffs the way they were playing. But 101 points for Scheifele.
Well, wouldn't you think it would be one of the checks? Like if you said to Scheif at the beginning of the year, you get a hunch, we're probably going to the playoffs.
Definitely.
For sure.
Definitely. Because
You know, another 100-point guy that was kind of sneaky. I don't know, because we kept talking about Cole Caulfield.
Suzuki.
Uncle Ricky Suzuki. A
Absolutely.
hunch.
Yeah, that's right.
You're starting to dig in. I think there's a chance he's in the Hart conversation.
Suzuki?
I love it, Noodles. I love it.
Like Caulfield 50, yes. You know, Hudson's a great player. Keep in mind, their goaltending's been a question mark all season. Now, Dobush has played very well and deserves. I mean, he's a rookie. He's going to be up for rookie of the year. He's not going to win it, but he's going to be in the conversation.
Jamie, when you meant if you dig into it, did you mean the numbers?
No, the numbers do suggest a lot of things, but But just look at it. Like you said it the other day, and I think you said it really nicely. A lot of times we look past things.
Yeah.
Right? We look past the greatness of McDavid going, yes, he's there, but let's look around here. Like Montreal, and I know the market we live in, all of that type of stuff, but like they know how valuable Nick Suzuki is. He is an absolute rock star of a player. And, yes, I don't know if Caulfield gets 50 if Suzuki's not driving that line. I think he's such a great player. And he got 100 points, but he's not a flashy guy. He's just really good. Mm-hmm. Like, he's consistent. Remember when we were hoping to compare him to Patrice Bergeron? Like, that's what people were like, that's a Bergeron, might be a 60, 70-point guy. This guy got 100 points.
Yeah, Bergeron never hit 100. In his career. That's,
like again, there's lots of sexy conversations, all of that, but Suzuki's a hell of a player that I don't think gets enough love because there's other people in other organizations, and including on that organization, that is maybe Caulfield
and Hudson, and the other two come up clearly as they deserve to come up. But I think we've known the heavy hitters for a while: McDavid, Kucherov, McKinnon.
Right.
McDavid's going to win the Art Ross. McKinnon likely holds on to the Rocket, but you never know. Colorado and Montreal. Montreal's got one more game, and maybe Caulfield pots a couple. And Kucherov's going to be right in between the two of them in terms of points and 5-on-5 numbers and all that kind of stuff. Celebrini's not going to be in contention now because they missed the playoffs. So it does open the door to, who would be the other 2 or 3 guys in the league. Draisaitl would have been. Draisaitl's got 97 points. He hasn't played in like 6 weeks. It's crazy. Well, let's I guess bring Johnny in and maybe he can supply us some answers.
Can help us out with some numbers.
Sure. Here's Mike Johnson, our TSN hockey analyst. Johnny,
hang on a sec, Hazy. Welcome to our first installment of. What is our hashtag, Hazy? We are data-driven.
Data-driven.
Welcome, Johnny.
I mean, I appreciate you having me in there. We got to work on the delivery of your hashtag for next time. But I appreciate the data-centric nation. Although we were messaging before, and I was, trying to gauge where O was going to go with this. And he did not give me a ton of direction. Where he was.
Well, you're such an idiot. I said you better have some numbers, Johnny, and you said, "Why don't you take me in a direction?" And I said, "I don't have any numbers, you idiot."
Well, how about the numbers that Noodles was digging up on Suzuki?
I want your thought on Suzuki. I mean, Johnny,
for the Hart, in Hart contention. Where do you stand on that?
I mean, he's going to so make him Barkov. He's not quite as good as Barkov, but he's going to win the Selke. He's got 100 and something points. His team is going to finish with home ice at 108 points. Where would Barkov have been in the Hart Trophy conversation? Periphery,
4th,
6, 7, 8,
6th,
whatever.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah,
right.
So sort of without the resume and reputation, but sort of the productivity of a Barkov, and he's incredible. I mean, he's the 3rd team all-league centerman. Does he beat Celebrini? Probably does.
He shouldn't.
I mean, you think about it. McDavid, McKinnon. There's a 3rd league. There's a 3rd all-league team somewhere. He I mean, for what he's done for that team, how good he is both ends of the ice. It's just that he does it quietly. Like everything about his game is unassuming. He's not the flashiest. He's not the fastest. He's not the strongest. He doesn't celebrate the hardest. He's the captain of the Canadians. Do you think he'd have a really big personality and following around the league? But he's just sort of quietly goes about his business. But he's been, we have to do that top 25 list, right? We all got that email today. So O's already done it because he likes to get ahead of his homework. But I was like, he'll be in the top 10 for sure in the league this year, Suzuki.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, I think that's appropriate. I think Celebrini has been better than him and more valuable than him.
Well, Jamie just brought up the word, Hayes, that if there's anything to this, he will be on the periphery.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As good as a year as he's had, he is not going to bump out a Celebrini or a McKinnon or a Kucherov or McDavid. He is going to be on the periphery, but that's still damn good.
Here's a question, though. Like Celebrini not making the playoffs, does that?
Yeah, he's out. He's not
winning it.
Yeah, he's not winning.
Okay, but not winning, but they still get top 5 votes. Like that's the thing.
Possibly.
Does he fit the top 5 narrative? Like, or do you?
It's very arbitrary, right?
Because, right.
92 points, he can be there. 91, he can't. I mean, like the value is essentially the same. I know it's not the same because there is a playoff implication, but 1 point swing all of a sudden, no, he can't do it. And 1 point higher up, which is almost unrelated to his performance. Oh yeah, he's totally legit. And I would also just say this. Hayes, you're not making an outlandish claim here. Celebrini's been incredible. What's the highest scoring centerman on Montreal other than Suzuki? They got nobody.
Kapanen, I
guess.
Kapanen?
Yeah.
Kapanen.
Right.
What does he have? 38 points? He's got 70 points more than the next high scoring centerman. 65 points. Like that's, talk about value. You talk about Cole Caulfield's really good. Well, part of the reason why Cole Caulfield is so good because he gets to play with Nick Suzuki.
Yeah.
So, you can make a pretty compelling case that he won't get votes. He won't be a finalist. There's 3 finalists. They're the obvious 3. It's going to be McDavid, McKinnon, and Kucherov, however you want to slice it up. But as far as the next bunch, you have to put in, I guess, the best defenseman in the Hart conversation, Celebrini and Suzuki. And I don't even know if there's a goaltender worth putting in there this year, Noodles. There probably isn't.
Okay, so let me ask you this quickly.
Yeah.
Suzuki or Pasternak, who would you have higher for the Hart?
Suzuki.
Yeah, that's
close.
Plays a big. Yeah, sure. But like he's going to win the Selke. Steven Pasternak is not a defensive.
But they have
he's
no
incredible.
one else there that moves the needle. Geeky, I guess. But like Caulfield,
because
50,
of pasta. Yeah.
Exactly, man. Like they've got Lane Hudson. Like, and again, the points. You look at the points. He gets to play with Hudson and Caulfield.
McAvoy.
McAvoy.
Yeah, but he's been up and down this year at times, and like I hear you, but Pasternak is like on an island there in terms of talent. Like he's kind of the Celebrini of the East, and they're in the playoffs. Yeah. Like he's going to touch 100 points too. I think he's at 99 right now.
Yeah.
Because of him,
Johnny,
and because of their goaltender, right? Like that's why he's there. But again, we can't discount the guy who's probably going to be voted the best defensive forward in the league, who will have more points, and his team has been more successful. Like
yeah, it's incredible.
It is incredible, but he's there. Yeah. He's right there.
That's the thing, guys. For those lists, you have to list 5, not just 3. Mm-hmm. So, like, I look at it, I'm like, Suzuki's got to be in the conversation. Like, you start. I dug in all afternoon. I was kind of sniffing around, and I've got my I've kind of got my mock lists and stuff like that together, and you talk to people throughout the league, and then you start reaching in on analytics, all of the other stuff. Johnny, you all know.
Johnny,
right?
let me ask you, Johnny, when you're doing your voting, what are some of the most important metrics you look at?
Let's hear it. What do we got?
For the record, I don't vote for these awards, so I don't have a vote. So I don't have to worry about it.
You're a loser like us, then.
Welcome to the loser club. Let's go golfing together.
Losers.
Never felt cooler than being part of the loser club. Amazing. What an accomplishment today. I depending on the award, right? Like, I think you have to look, if it's for the Hart, obviously look at their individual impacts, which is what they do when they're on the ice. It's great to offer up some relative impacts. So like, what does San Jose do when Celebrini's not on the ice as compared to what they do when he is? Compare that to Suzuki. Compare that to Pasternak. So try to get a handle on what Hayes is talking about exactly what he is relative to the rest of the team. How much better is he than the supporting cast around him? For the Selke, for the Norris, I would look at quality of competition. Like, who do they play against? We all know it's very different playing against second, third, fourth liners or second and third pairs versus the best of the best. And I take that into consideration as well. Time on ice. I know there's been this big conversation about the Norris and whether Bouchard belongs in that conversation. He does. He absolutely does.
I agree.
Quality of teammates. Oh, who do they play with most? What do they, what does McDavid do for him? What does he do for McDavid? All that kind of stuff. You look at all those things and try to find commonalities where you could say, okay, by looking at these numbers, this performance, I could say he's a bit better than Pastrnak in a similar situation because you flesh out through the numbers a comparable that's a bit more precise than just sort of Boston versus Montreal.
With Mike Johnson. All right, so this is a lot of looking back. Let's look ahead here, and let's bring a couple of Leafs into focus here. Of these two players, who do you have more faith will have an A-plus season next year relative to what their expectations should be? Austin Matthews or William Nylander?
William Nylander. Expectations are lower, right? Mm-hmm. Like, I think if Willie does sort of what he did this year, that's if he gets 37 goals and 95 points and plays 82 games, or the pace for that, which he is on pace this year to be over 100 points if he were to play every game. 12th in the league in points per game. 12th. Like, I don't expect him to be higher than 12. That should be an A season for William Nylander. I think because he's younger, he's healthier, his legs are not in question, his movement is not in question. He's very likely to do what he is supposed to do. Austin, a lot more question marks. I think his health. I also think the new coach will impact him and his usage in his game more than, if there is a new coach, the new direction will impact him more than it impacts Willie. Right? Like, does he get freed up a little bit? Does he get different kind of wingers, different kind of assignments, different kind of usage? I put all that more questions. So, yeah, confidence level for Willie, pretty high. Confidence level for Austin. He'll be good. He'll be solid B material, but will he be A++, which for him is 50+ goals and 100 points? Less certain.
What does that mean he is? If he comes back 100% healthy, he's ready to rip. He's got some kind of magic. The Leafs pull out some magical winger in the league somewhere, and things are like all system go. What is he like? We're talking about. Let me ask you this: if after the first 2 months of the season next year, where do you think, if we had to do like a top 20 players in the league, do you think Austin Matthews will be on it after 2 months next year?
That's a good question. Dang, that's a good question. I'm not sure. I mean, top 20, you're going to bring in goalies and defensemen. He'll be a top 20 forward. I'll say that. But if you're going to take out 8 spots for goalies and defensemen, top 12 forward, I mean, he's got to score a lot, right? He can't be a 40. It's like 15, right? He can't be one of 15. He's got to be one of 4 pushing 50. So, I mean, Jerry's percentages, there's probably a 35% chance he's in the top 20 after 2 months next year. Now, if it goes great, he could be in the top 7, which is what they need. But he could also be 40th, which is what they don't.
I think he'll be in the top 5, Johnny, and I'll bet you a hunch.
Well, let me ask you.
Gladly. Let me book it. Gladly.
Let me bring this up here. Don't you think one of the questions that should be posed to him on Thursday is, do you believe that your body will be 100% next season?
Yeah. Yes, they should ask it, but what's he supposed to say, Noodles? No?
Can you
imagine if he said no?
Right. But I'm saying he's
shocking.
That's the crazy. What I'm getting
my back's
at.
a little rickety. I got some arthritis in my knee. My wrist is all bugged up. Like, what's he gonna say? Yes, of course. I'm going to try.
What I'm saying is that if you believe, like, it's clear he hasn't been 100%. There's obviously been stuff nagging, obviously the knee injury, all of that type of stuff. the challenge for, me looking at him, all of us looking at him as a player, is I believe he can get back to whatever O's talking about, whatever we believe, the standard. But that's if he's 100%. Johnny, you talked about NHL edge, the drop in his velocity, the drop in speed, all of that type of stuff. Those are real numbers. That's real. We watched it with our eyes, okay?
Yeah. I just think, guys, he's 28 years old. He's not 34.
Yeah, maybe 29 in September.
A lot of miles.
Okay,
10 full years.
There's a lot of, my point being is if he can be 100% from a body standpoint, I believe in the player. I just don't and I know he's not going to answer that question on Thursday, but that's the one thing I think about is if Austin Matthews has the ability to get back to 100% physically, now you've got something. But I just looked the last couple of years. I think he's had nagging injuries, and then you take Marner away from his line, it all looked different.
I would say this. How about this? The spin I would put on it, because that's a tough question for him to answer. He's going to say, yes, of course I would. I would want an honest answer. Were you healthy this year? Before your knee injury, was anything bothering you this year that is abnormal for the bumps and bruises that guys have every year? Okay? Because you can sort of be retroactively honest. Yeah, you know what? My back was a little tight. I did have a bad elbow, whatever is going on. I would say that. And the other question, Hayes, for you, because you really want to know about his future. It's not, will you commit to Toronto? It's what has to happen for you to commit to Toronto. Because he doesn't know and he can't answer, as Noodles was mentioning yesterday. And it's not fair to say, well, commit to it now, because he doesn't know. He can't say.
Right.
But what he can say is, if we are committed to winning, if we feel I have a chance, whatever the groundwork is beyond the contract, what do you need to see to want to commit to this team long term? That's, I think, a fair question, and one that he could give a pretty honest answer to.
Is it possible he says, I want this team to be a Stanley Cup contender next year, and someone just says that's not possible?
I said, I wanted you to score
possible.
75 this year. Didn't happen. So let's get with the reality of, let's be serious here. You can't, of course he's going to want that. Everyone's going to want that. But you have to be somewhat realistic.
No. But it would be an easy way out if he kind of secretly wanted out.
Sure. But I mean, if he says something like that, then the inference is he wants out because he's not being realistic. Yeah. He has to appreciate where they are. And in many ways, guys, this is why he signed a 4-year deal. To give him this flexibility in case it didn't go great. And it's not gone great this year. They have to try to make it better next year. Otherwise, he will utilize the flexibility that he baked in with his contract for the exact reason he baked it in. If they're not competitive, then he can just walk away, no hard feelings, at least on his side.
Yeah. Well, listen, I think there's a chance he's going to be challenged on why Leaf fans should still trust him, as an individual player and as a leader of this team. And quite frankly, I think that's fair. I know we've been hyper-focused on core for this, core for that for 10 years and this obsession with the players, and you can't live without them. And the only way they're ever going to get out of this dark period is because these 3 or 4 players dragged them out. Fact is, they didn't pull their weight. They didn't do it. They weren't alone. The teams, sure there were some things that weren't built properly, and maybe they didn't have the right depth or goalie or coach or tough matchups, but they had ample opportunities, 7, 8, 9, 10 opportunities where it was a Game 6 to close or a Game 7 to close, and they didn't do it. And obviously we saw that the last time they played a meaningful game, it was Game 7 against Florida, and Austin, like everyone else, didn't show up. And this year they've been terrible. So I think he might be bracing, or probably should brace, for someone asking, where do you fit into this? Why is everyone worried about you putting pressure on the organization? What are you thinking? Can they build around you still? Are you capable of dragging this team into the playoffs like Sid just did in Pittsburgh? Those seem like reasonable questions. Shouldn't he be prepared for both sides of the coin?
I will say this about Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh since January 1st, by far the highest scoring team at 5-on-5, almost 20% higher than any other team in the NHL. So it's not just Sid, even with the Olympic missing. It's the entire team in Pittsburgh. So I would not cite Sid as an individual dragging him in because told me to prepare for that one. Good job, O.
That's good one. Good stat. Good stat.
I do think you can ask him that, and it's a fair question. But again, like, what's he going to say? You know what? We have come up short. Yeah, probably not. You probably shouldn't build around me anymore. Like, what are you going to say?
No,
I
hear you. But
answer to the affirmative.
Right.
But I think
you're saying you're comfortable with him answering.
Not between us.
You're comfortable with him answering why you should stay. Then why aren't you comfortable with self-reflection? Where do you stand in all of this? Like, how much responsibility do you take?
Why should we want you to stay? Is the flip side of that. And I don't know if you ask him that, but what you do ask is whoever the search firm comes up with, Hayes, whoever that president is, whoever that GM is, whoever that management team is, that is an absolutely fair question. What do we have here? Do we triple, quadruple, quintuple down on it? Or do we say maybe it's not going to happen with these guys? He's being one of the guys. So yes, that's a fair question, but I don't know. You can ask it. You're not going to get an answer.
You're not going to get an answer.
Yeah.
Johnny, let me ask you something. Why the hell do we need a search firm involved here to hire somebody, a quality person in the National Hockey League? Go ahead, tell me.
I would imagine that Keith Pelly doesn't know every single person around the NHL. If he's the one sort of directing this. He has a job to run 6 professional sports organizations, not one.
Well,
and if you think he knows every assistant GM or cap guy or scout or junior coach or European coach, there's no way.
Which begs the question, why would one person ever be responsible for running that amount of items in an organization? It's ridiculous. And it's not possible, and you can't be good at all of it. You can't monitor all of it. You can't know what's going on with all those people. Sorry.
But that's why you bring in somebody.
Well, hang on.
Like, you
can't ask me one question and then tell me that's why you can't do it. I'm telling you why they're doing it, because the guy who's hired can't do it, and that's why they're hiring a search firm. Also, they can do the grunt work, right? Like, you can siphon it down to 20, 30, however big you want it to be, and go from 100 candidates to the top 15 by doing their due diligence, so you don't have to waste time because you are busy running 6 teams, and then you get down to the brass tacks, and then you're more involved. So I think that is reasonable. I don't know about this whole conflict of interest and the guy who represents guys also being the search firm guy, but that's
the problem.
Boiled down to, without doing any work, the final 15 or 20 guys you should consider, and there's probably some value in that.
That's where I was going to jump in there, Johnny. That's the problem I have. That's why I said you should have multiple firms. Because if you've got one guy who's got clients and coaches and all of that, like, obviously he's going to be pushing his guys. Like, you should have multiple firms, and if they put together a list and that the names appear on multiple lists, that shows that you've got a candidate, not just Neil Glassberg's guys, and then everybody else on the outside of him doesn't get a sniff. Like, that's the only problem I have with one search firm as opposed to multiple avenues.
Hayes, you know what Noodles is asking for? A Venn diagram of multiple search firms.
There you go.
And we'll see who is in the center crossover triangulation from multiple search firms, as you were requesting earlier in the year. Hayes, it's all coming back on our data-centric show.
I love Venn diagrams. I could do this for Keith Pelly. Shoot me a note. I'll put a little Venn diagram together for you, and we'll meet somewhere in the middle.
But also, it's also Hazy.
Go ahead.
Hazy, real quick. Let's not kid ourselves. Like, where do names come from when there are openings? Search firms, agents for coaches, the NHL, agents for former players who may want to get into that role, and they're kind of out there pumping them around. Like, there's always a bit of a not full impartiality from whoever's putting these people forward. There is a relationship there that gets them put forward. So, Glassberg or whoever, I don't think, I think Brendan Shanahan was put forward by the NHL. He did a good job, but I'm saying they put him forward because they work with him. So there is always a relationship there for whoever puts forward.
Absolutely. All right, Johnny, I like it. Data-driven. I think this thing's going to explode. A lot of potential here.
Let's get ready. Everybody dig into their notes, because Friday we're going to have an absolute banger.
Josh sent in a great name for this.
Uh-oh. Lay it on me.
Dis or data.
With Marty Biron.
Marty Biron may not like that. We don't do that. Marty may not like that, but this or data, it's got potential.
Doogie, at 5:50, you call Marty Biron, and we're going to ask him on air if we're allowed to use it. We have to.
Yes, you're right. It is trademarked by Marty. We got to be careful with that. All right, Johnny. Great stuff. We'll do it later in the week.
All right, fellas. Good talking to you.
Mike Johnson, dis or data.
That's awesome. You know what? I just got a note. Remember I was saying that monster in the picture who's like 6'9", who's a PR guy?
Mm-hmm.
His name is Stefano Tunanuti. I don't know who that. That's
Okay,
it. I guess he's the Marlies PR guy back in the day.
Yeah.
Is there any reason why you needed to clarify that guy's name?
It was bothering me. It was bothering me. Don't you think that was like we got to pull up that picture because you said you were 6'2". This guy looks like he's 7 feet tall next to you.
Okay.
That's what was bothering me.
Because that was like 10 years
pic.
ago, 11,
Find the
12
pic.
years ago.
It's on I guess it's on our
It's on our
OverDrive
Instagram page. I'm not familiar. Not that I'm sure he did great work. Great guy. Shout out. But yeah, we might have established something new here. I think we have.
I
Johnny
love the
coming
dis
up.
or data. That's awesome.
Data
Dis
or
or
the other
data.
thing, and then dis or data is.
And Megan Chaika, we're going to have you on. She's giving it to us a little bit. We're going to have her on.
Okay.
She's the data queen.
Megan's
right?
not happy with us for some reason.
No,
That's
we'll get her.
unfortunate.
But she's got to have numbers. We're only having people on if they have numbers.
The thing is
Dis,
reasonable
data, the
numbers.
other thing with Megan.
The problem is
you don't say that without us calling Marty Biron, dude.
It's like Tap Man. We don't need. We're not going down that path.
Not even saying it.
The problem with data people is they need to translate it to the layman. That's where the analytics people struggle with. If somebody on their couch needs to understand what they're talking about when it comes to numbers.
Okay.
That's the challenge.
You want to know what
get
the
to
biggest
bottom of
problem
this.
with data people is, Jamie? When their team is data-driven, like some of the teams, I won't mention any names, they don't put their hand up and say, we used kind of a data recipe here and we stunk. Like, there's teams that had to hire, whatever. I'm not kidding.
Yeah, confirm or deny coming up. Best bet still to come. OverDrive continues up on TSN 4.
I can neither confirm or deny that this is in fact a segment.
Boston trades Andrew Raycroft to Toronto in exchange for the rights to Tuukka Rask.
It's been my honor and a privilege to serve as the general manager of the Toronto Maple Leafs Hockey Club.
It's time for Confirm or Deny.
Do you regret giving all those gentlemen the no trades or no movement clauses?
I can neither confirm or deny that.
I can't confirm or deny.
All right, Confirm or Deny brought to you by Boston Pizza, Canada's favorite sports bar. This playoffs, BP is summoning the hockey gods to tilt the ice in Canada's favor. Join us and feast like a hockey god on our new playoff menu. See you for puck drop at your local BP. Okay, let's get to Confirm or Deny here, starting with this one. Confirm or Deny. One of the bottom 5 teams in the NHL standings will make the playoffs next season.
Confirm. It's a zillion %. I think that James. Yes, I said confirm. It's a zillion % confirm. And Jamie talked about it all year. It's a weird year.
Yeah.
And, oh, man, there's some bad teams here.
You're talking Toronto, Calgary, New York, Chicago, Vancouver
I'm sorry, I'm denying it.
Wow, you thought Florida was in there, right?
That just slapped me right in the face like a Tyson hook. Like, whoa, I got to deny it. I'm sorry.
It's trouble.
Like, I thought there were some heater teams.
There's not heater teams. I mean,
no,
the Leafs,
dude,
maybe
no.
Calgary. Could they put some pieces together next year? Maybe.
Well, Calgary's got currency. That's the one thing Craig Conroy has. He's got nothing but draft picks and young players coming in. So he might be able to turn
those
them
into a 24-year-old stud that can score 35 goals?
I don't. You know what? I don't know. Because the Ottawa Senators, keep in mind, the Ottawa Senators traded Josh Norris for Dylan Cousins. The trade worked out for everybody. Mm-hmm. But, like that, in the end, like Craig Conroy, I do like what he's done there. But again, you've got to put the team together to get to the next level next year. Like 2 years ago, they had 96 points. This year, they want to be in the bottom 5, and they've had a dignified tank. Dignified tank. Like that team is exactly what the Leafs did a couple years ago, where played hard, didn't cheat you for effort.
Leafs made the playoffs the next year.
Yeah, and I think they've got
Vancouver's
the goalie.
got no shot. They are a disaster.
They're trying to rebuild too. Like I think that they've. Yeah, I'm going to deny it just because I think that the teams that are right there in those bottom 5, I think they all have a lot of work to do. Yeah. The Leafs would probably be the most intriguing one because there are some pieces there, but the spine of the team isn't there. That's the thing. They don't have a number 1 defenseman. They don't have they don't have even bring Tanev back and a healthy Matthews. That's all that's been really missing the last couple months is those 2 guys. Impact players, believe me, but are they impact enough to get you over the hump against the teams in the Atlantic? Yeah. That's the biggest challenge.
You guys mentioned Vancouver, absolutely no chance. Is this completely ridiculous to even have the thought bubble? Pettersson returns to form. Maybe you guys will stop me right there and say that's...
Yeah, it's not. I don't see that happening.
You put Thatcher Demko in net, and Pettersson's a 100-point guy. Okay.
No, Demko's not healthy ever. Unfortunately, that ship has sailed for me. You can't rely on Demko and Pettersson. I don't even know how to explain what's.
Well, there also might be something too, Brian, to the point where if there is going to be some major changes in the offseason, the league's been weird this year. Maybe one of the changes is a Pettersson trade. If we were talking about the deadline, maybe these teams are more willing to do it in the offseason, and Vancouver's willing to try and get some assets back. I think you might see some trades in the offseason that we didn't expect.
Yeah, it's very possible. It's in Pettersson, I don't even know if that would be shocking anymore. It wouldn't be.
Right.
If he agreed I need a new scenery and Vancouver moved off him, but they have 53 points. There's Calgary bad and Toronto bad and New York bad, and then Vancouver bad, which it's a different level of awful. And Quinn Hughes is gone, and it's a mess out there.
Yeah.
All right, let's continue with the NHL ones here, Joe. We'll stay. It's been a constant theme today. We'll stay in this world. Confirm or deny the NHL should retire number 87 and number 8 league-wide.
100% confirm. And I think they should both get the Mario Lemieux treatment, which is automatically into the National Hockey League Hall of Fame. And everyone's like, oh, they weren't at that level. Why not? Just because they're not Mario Lemieux or Wayne Gretzky, they've been so special as players and important to the NHL. As soon as they take their gear off for the final time, that year they go right into the Hall of Fame. Both of those guys deserve that. It would be a shame that if they don't go in there.
Well,
By the way, a guy that just retired, Scott Oak, should be in the Hall of Fame too.
Yeah, we'll get him there. Love the guy. Mm-hmm. But come back. That's 2 different arguments, though. The jersey being retired, the Hall of Fame. Because the Hall of Fame, I agree 100%. The jersey, the number being retired, that's the interesting one. Ovi is the greatest goal scorer of all time.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
He is worthy of that. But 8, there's a lot of number 8.
You can't retire league-wide.
You call Zach Werenski, sorry.
You're out.
Take your jersey off.
You can retire it league-wide. He leads he's got more goals than anybody. It's retired.
It's still, to me, is silly. Then Gordie Howe's number should be. Number 4 should never be worn again.
Yeah.
66 should never be worn again. Just these 2. I know they did it with Gretzky, and I understand why. But I can reason with your Hall of Fame take. I thought you were about to say it's a hall with some plaques in it, Noodles, when you stalled. That's why I started laughing. Because you stalled, and I'm like, tell me this guy's going to say something crazy here. It's a hall with some plaques in there. but I don't think they should retire the numbers. I don't think it's necessary. They're going to be retired in Washington and Pitt, clearly. I mean, that goes without saying. Do that immediately or celebrate them when they come back. But all right, last one here. Confirm or deny. Connor Bedard in Chicago is morphing into the new Jack Eichel in Buffalo. Confirm or deny?
You have to ask me next year. I'll kind of confirm it, though. Because
they're terrible still.
They
Awful.
suck. They suck. And I thought they were turning a corner this year, and I thought they were going to be just sniffing the playoffs.
Yeah.
But they weren't, dude. They were they're awful again.
Yeah,
and
them in Vancouver,
I guarantee you that this kid's going to say to him, if it's December next year and we're garbage again, I'm not going to like it. And then they're going to have big-time problems.
I'm denying it because I think they're coming. They got the goalie. They got the goalie.
Spencer Knight, you're a believer?
Yes, I am. They've got young defensemen, that Kaiser, Vlasic, Crevier, what's his name? Nazar. He's a good player.
Yeah, Frank Nazar, yeah.
They've got some players there. You need to add to it. I agree. Give it a little time, maybe by Christmas, but Jack Eichel's situation was different. There was an injury involved that soured a lot of things,
but
too.
The point being is he was incredibly hyped. Second overall pick, but it was like, here's Eichel. He's going to save us.
Keep in mind, we were talking Bedard for the Olympic team if he didn't get injured.
Yeah, he had a great start.
He was on a heater, and he looked really good. I think they continue to add. They've got a young nucleus there. But, yes, there's lots of work to be done. I'm not there yet, so I'm denying it. I'm not there yet.
I'm confirming it. I got a bad feeling about it. They've just been bad for a long time. This is third year in the league, and Eichel. It was 6 years in, and they had Reinhart, and they had Dahlin. They had good young players too, just like Chicago. And it was like it's just not possible. We don't win here. Frustration pops up. It's going to get sticky there pretty soon, like for Bedard and others. And his ELC is up this year, so he's got to sign long term, and I assume he will. I'm not saying he wants out of Chicago. But they are still they're far, far away from being competitive, or it looks that way right now. Although they're probably gonna their Twitter account will probably clip that and play it next year when they make the playoffs. Right? That's the hot new thing in sports.
No, you just got to go. They're brutal.
They're terrible. Chicago's awful. They'll make the playoffs next year. Here's an idiot in Toronto calling it. All right, best bet still to come. Powered by FanDuel. There it is. Confirm or deny. We're going to call up Marty, I guess, and ask if we can use DIS or data. If we can, he may say yes, he may say no. So we'll check in with Marty quickly. OverDrive continues up on YouTube Live.
Now, back to OverDrive with Hayes, Noodles, and the O-Dog.
This is our new theme song for potentially DIS or data.
Love it.
Revenge of the Nerds.
Okay. DIS or data, but we can't use that unless Marty signs off on it. Right. Marty Biron owns this bit, not only with us, but with everyone. There is Marty looking phenomenal. Marty, we
have a question for you, Hazy. Please go ahead.
Okay, we love having you on. We love DIS, data, or the other thing, but MJ joined us, and we're implementing data-driven commentary to our show, and someone sent out the idea of us calling that segment DIS or data, and O said, absolutely not, unless Marty allows us to call it that. So where do you stand on this?
I mean, I would be all okay with it, but you got to check with O, because O is so business-minded that I believe, your name may be on the copyright, O, because you're the one that had the idea in the first place. So, I mean, I can't be the only one that says yes. You have to be able to give your blessing as well because of the business mind that you are, that you saw an opportunity there years ago.
Marty, I just want to say this. In those documents where you copyrighted DIS or dat, you are the CEO of that corporation, and you have to make this decision. Do you care if we use hashtag DIS or data?
I don't care. I think it's very flattering. And to be honest with you, I have gotten pictures on social media of other businesses around that have used this or that or this or that and many different variation of it. And I want to go to them and say, listen, you're doing it wrong, but I appreciate how flattering it is. And I think it'd be very flattering if you guys use this or data. But who is the data-driven person on the panel here? Is MJ
Johnny.
That? Hazy, are you that guy?
No, Marty.
Noodles a little bit. Noodles is in the
Noodles
weeds over there.
Noodles is going to the dark side, and me and Hayes, we are learning different stuff week by week, and that's why we wanted to start the new segment. And we are now what you call a data-driven sports talk radio show. Right, boys?
Yeah.
For years, I've looked at the numbers. I just don't talk about it. Like I've been for years. We get the Sport Logic numbers.
I'm with you, Noodles. I hear you, man. I hear you.
Like it just. I think it's nice to chat about and bring it in, but it's a piece of the pie. It's not the whole pie. That's
Marty. Do you like data?
I do like data, but I think it can be very complicated. And if you're going on the air on TV or radio and you start talking about, zone entries by 60 and percentage of power play entries per power plays, and it's like, are they a good power play or not? And what does it make it? So I think there's a place for data, but there's also a place for, analysis and storytelling and all of that. So I think you gotta simplify it if you're going to go in that route, especially when you're just voicing those numbers. It's like, whoa, like it's just floating around, in the head.
I love it. All right. I love that you've joined us here, and it's official. We have a new bit, and Marty, you're going to be thought of every single time we do it.
Marty, just do us one favor. You got to record a soundbite for us. For us. Just say this. Just say this right now. Welcome, everyone, to Dis or Data.
Welcome, everyone, to Dis or Data.
Yes.
I love it. Send the invoice to Doogie, and we'll take it from here.
Into it to make it good for you guys.
It's brilliant. We love it. We love you, Marty. We'll catch you soon, buddy. Thanks for doing this, as always.
Okay. A lot of Buffalo Sabres advancing to the second round when you guys fill out your brackets.
Yes, we're all on board with that.
Stuff like Noodles. I know you do a lot of Sens and obviously the Canadian market, but if it's Boston, it better be Buffalo across the board.
Across the board, huge support up here for the Sabres if it's Boston. Cannot wait for that. All right, thanks, Marty.
Awesome, guys.
See you, buddy. There's Marty Biron.
We're in.
All right, we got the seal of approval. It's amazing. Dis and dat and the other thing and data. We got it all kind of working together here, and everything's moving in the right direction.
Hayes, you got to always go. Always loved Buffalo.
Always been a fan. Always been a fan.
Dude, that's what I was wondering about if we ever go down there. Like, would somebody suck? Like, would you get jumped walking in that building?
Man, I love the Bills. I pump the Bills' tires and Josh Allen's tires maybe more than anybody.
And the fan base would understand what Brian was talking about. They've been starving for.
Jamie, listen to what you just said. What fan base is understanding when people argue about everything. Like, it's just you say one comment and then you got Egg Avatar fighting with another guy that says, "Oh, that goalie." It's crazy stuff.
It is, but I'm saying if you look at it reasonably, that fan base hasn't had a playoff hockey, and this is the 15th year. 14 years they've missed. They are starving for it. They'll welcome anybody into that building because they're going to be so pumped. I can't wait to see what that's going to be like their first home game. The roof is going to pop off.
And I hope it's Boston. Like, play Boston, get through Boston, Ottawa, then they go through the other division. If you can get through Carolina, you got Pitt or Philly in the next round. That's a pathway for Ottawa. We're getting closer to it. We still got a couple more games, obviously tonight, tomorrow night, and Thursday. Best Bets powered by FanDuel. Make your picks and assemble a same-game parlay in seconds on the FanDuel Sportsbook app. We got playing games in the NBA tonight. Miami's getting 6.5 on Charlotte. Charlotte's been a really good story. They've been really good in the second half. Miami, I'm going to take the points up, dude. Like, I'm taking Spoelstra and the Heat and their history. I'm taking the points tonight in that game. I'm not touching the Jays game. The total's really low. They need a great start from Gosman. Yeah. I would lean the under, but I'm not going to touch that one. It's 7, the total, so that one's a tight one. Best Bets powered by FanDuel. Same-game parlays available for every MLB and NBA game on the FanDuel Sportsbook app. Please play responsibly. Must be 19 plus and physically located in Ontario.
You just brought up Charlotte, dude. Whenever you go to, like, the toilet bowl of sports organizations,
always them.
King Daddy Topper.
But they could be in the playoffs. Sabres are in the playoffs, right? There's a lot of good things happening right now in pro sports. A lot of these smaller markets are kind of popping off. So shout out to all of them. All right, thanks to everyone behind the scenes for helping out today. We appreciate it. Everyone for tuning in, TV, radio, podcast, web, and, of course, up on YouTube Live. We're out of here. Enjoy your evenings. Enjoy the games tonight. We're back tomorrow at
4 p.m.
We'll chat then.